Welcome back to Legends and Lore. Hera steps away from brute divine force and moves to something far more insidious: manipulation. This shows her capacity for psychological warfare. The victim this time was Semele, a beautiful mortal princess of Thebes who was carrying Zeus's child. Hera understood that she couldn't just send a snake or a gadfly, so she targeted Semele's trust and vanity. Hera descended to earth and disguised herself as an old, trusted woman, Beroe, Semele's former nursemaid. This was someone Semele would confide in and trust implicitly. Hera, as Beroe, began to plant the seed of doubt in the young princess's mind. She spoke to Semele with apparent concern. "Are you sure it's really Zeus? Men lie, dear, especially powerful men. If he truly loved you, wouldn't he show you the same respect and the same glory that he shows his wife, Queen Hera? If he is truly a god, he should prove it to you." Zeus was horrified. He tried everything to stop her, to get her to take the wish back. He knew that his full, unshielded form, the form of a lightning bolt and thunder, was too much for any mortal to withstand. But he couldn't break the Styx's oath. With a terrible sense of inevitability, he revealed his true self. In an instant, Semele was incinerated by the divine power. She never saw the glory. She only felt the consuming fire. Hera won the battle, but Zeus made one final, desperate rescue. He snatched the unborn baby from Semele's ashes and, in a bizarre moment of paternal devotion, sewed the child into his own thigh until the baby was ready to be born. That child was Dionysus, the god of wine. Hera was furious that the baby survived, but she had successfully eliminated the woman through sheer, calculated manipulation. Hera's greatest enemy in all of Greek mythology was the hero known today as Hercules. It's incredibly ironic because his original name, Heracles, literally means glory of Hera. This was an attempt by his mortal parents to appease the goddess and win her favor. It didn't work. Hera's hatred for Heracles was a lifetime campaign, beginning the moment he was born. When he was just a baby in his crib, she sent 2 massive serpents to kill him. Instead of crying out for help, the infant Heracles, already possessing immense divine strength, simply strangled both snakes with his bare hands. This established the theme. Heracles was Hera's perpetual challenge, a problem she could never solve. Hera's revenge escalated when Heracles became an adult. This is arguably the darkest part of the story and a demonstration of how far her hatred would go. Hera struck the hero with a fit of blinding madness, a temporary, complete delusion. In this state, Heracles saw his beloved wife and children not as his family, but as terrible enemies. He killed them all. When he finally awoke, the horror of what he had done was unbearable. This act of violence, caused entirely by Hera's madness, defined the rest of his life. To purify himself for the crime of murdering his family, Heracles was sentenced to serve his cousin, King Eurystheus, and perform 12 labors, 12 seemingly impossible tasks. These labors were not just random heroic deeds, they were penance orchestrated by the cosmos. And every step of the way, Hera was there to sabotage him. She consistently tried to make the tasks more difficult. During his quest for the belt of Hippolyta, Hera disguised herself and roused the Amazons to attack him. She made the Lernaean Hydra grow extra heads faster. She used her divine influence to ensure the king demanded the most brutal and impossible tasks. But Heracles, the glory of Hera, always succeeded, proving he was the strongest hero ever born and infuriating his divine namesake further. One final legendary piece of lore connects Hera and Heracles: the creation of the Milky Way. One version of the myth says that Zeus tried to sneak the infant Heracles to Hera while she was sleeping so the baby could suckle her divine milk. While he was nursing, Hera woke up, pushed the baby away in disgust, and the stream of milk sprayed across the heavens, forming the cosmic band we call the Milky Way. We end our list of Hera's vengeance with the story of Echo, a talkative mountain nymph. Echo was incredibly charming and persuasive. And Zeus actually used her skills to his advantage. Whenever he wanted to sneak off and have an affair, he would instruct Echo to corner Hera and hold her in a long, endless, captivating conversation, successfully distracting the Queen of the Gods. This went on for some time, until Hera finally realized she was being played. Hera was tired of being fooled. She didn't kill Echo or turn her into an animal. She chose a much more subtle and agonizing punishment. Hera cursed Echo to lose her power of original speech. From that day forward, Echo could only repeat the last words spoken to her. She became a mere reflection, a shadow of sound. She could never initiate a conversation, confess her love, or tell her own story again. This is a profound tragedy that perfectly shows the scope of Hera's fury. She stripped away the identity and the voice of anyone who helped her deceitful husband. The god of the untamed. If Zeus is the king of Olympus, the ruler of the sky and the law, then Poseidon is the unstable crown prince. Where Zeus is order, Poseidon is chaos. Poseidon, he is the brother of Zeus and Hades, a powerful Olympian and the god of the sea. But that's only part of the story. He is also the god of earthquakes and the creator of horses. Why this odd combination? Because all three represent primal, untamed forces of nature, power, and kinetic energy that humans cannot control. Poseidon is immensely powerful, perpetually ambitious, and easily slighted. His deep ambition and terrible temper are what truly define him. His wrath is the reason the earth shakes, buildings collapse, and the seas churn into deadly storms. His power is channeled through the trident. This isn't just a fishing spear, it is the ultimate tool of geological disruption. When he strikes it into the earth, it can raise continents, flood cities, or crack the very bedrock of the world. Poseidon's stories aren't about loyalty, they're about revenge against anyone, mortal or god, who dares to cross him. Poseidon and his nephew Apollo found themselves in a difficult position. They had attempted a minor rebellion against Zeus, and as punishment, the king of the gods forced them to serve a mortal king for 1 year. That king was Laomedon of Troy. Laomedon ordered the powerful gods to use their skills to build the magnificent city of Troy. Poseidon, the earthshaker, raised the stone, and Apollo enchanted the stone into place. They built the massive, impregnable walls of Troy, a legendary structure that could not be breached by any mortal force. When their year of servitude was up, King Laomedon committed the ultimate act of hubris. He refused to pay the gods for their labor. He laughed at them, thinking they were powerless to strike back. Poseidon does not forget a slight. He didn't just cause a small flood. He sent a devastating sea monster, a giant Ketos, to ravage the fields, coastline, and people of Troy. The city was left defenseless against this creature of the deep. The desperate Trojans consulted an oracle and learned they had to sacrifice a princess, Hesione, to appease Poseidon's rage. Though Hercules eventually saved the princess, the point was made. Troy was already cursed and indebted to Poseidon before the famous Trojan War even began.